We are tonight's entertainment.
What the fuck is this, Chet?
This is a tasty burger.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
You like Huey Lewis in the news?
Is this your homework, Larry?
Welcome back to the Film Scoop.
Film Scoop.
Another
back,
episode.
brothers.
Pretty quick episode again. Like, we just recorded a few days ago, but
I'd seen it. It felt that way. I was like, what the heck?
yeah, we recorded like Tuesday and it's Saturday, so a few days early.
Yep.
We owe that to them for all the times we,
We're still making up for our 2-year hiatus. If anyone ever
I don't
listened to
even
that
know if
first
people know
episode.
that, but yeah, we filmed an episode when the Snyder Cut was released. And I don't know if you know this, but that was 2021.
Yep.
We recorded one episode and never recorded again until this year when we decided to start the podcast back
We've
up.
been at it for a while.
Yeah. I deleted that episode because it sounded really bad. Our mics
We also
were bad.
really came over the Snyder Cut, and I feel like
I mean, I still like it. I'm not
Yeah, it's
ashamed
good.
of what I said, but it just sounded really bad. Like, the audio quality was horrible, and I just didn't... If someone clicked on our podcast, and then they were like, oh, I'll go to the first episode, that's what makes sense, and then it was that, they'd probably stop listening.
I don't think
the
I've
pod's
ever
already
listened
bad
to it.
enough, but, that audio quality, I was like, this is the line I'm drawing. You know what I'm saying?
know,
We can
dude.
talk about jerking off all day, but the second the audio sounds horrible, we're pulling the plug.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're here to talk about The Creator. We're gonna go see Saw X in a few hours, but
Yep.
quick episode. Just to catch up. Last week, we talked about underrated sci-fi movies. If that interests you, go check that out. But yeah, really short watch list since we just recorded, but I watched a movie called How to Blow Up a Pipeline. It was recommended to me, and I was kind of tired, so
A little sweepy.
I was a little sweepy. So, I gave it a 3.5 just to be nice, but it wasn't the movie's fault at all. I was just tired. I put it on while I was tired, so I didn't really love it. But
Here's an idea. Stop doing that.
I had to get it done. It was a wreck.
That's fine. Just be like, hey, I'll get to it when I'm alert.
No.
I feel like the past 3 times that we've recorded that you've talked about your wreck, you've been like, I was tired.
No.
And then
I
you
don't think
say,
so. No,
you
my
gave it a
wreck
3,
before that
but
was Funny
it could be
Games
better.
and Boyhood, and I watched both of those fully untired. So you're just capping right now. You're capping like shit.
I swear there was one
what
that you
was
said
before
you
that?
would have
Hunt
liked.
for the Wilder People, Fully Awake.
No, there was definitely another
Let's
one.
see
that
what
you
was
said.
before that. We've got The Apartment, Fully Awake, Fuck You. And then before that we had Rango, Fully Awake, just didn't like it. So you're coming
I'm
with
telling
these
you,
accusations,
it might not
and
have
they're not
been,
true.
It might not have been the Rex, but I know for a fact there was at least 2 other
There's
movies
no ground for
that
you to
you've
stand
said,
on right now.
I'm tired, and I gave it a 3.
You're fully capping.
I'm going to listen to the
you're
podcast.
capping like
I'm
shit
listening to
right
last
now.
episode. I know you've said that already.
You're capping like shit.
No,
so
dude.
that I don't ever really do that. It was
I'm
just,
not buying it.
Oh, you're not buying it?
No.
Fuck you.
I think you're trying
care
to
what you
sell
buy.
me shit on you
I
being
don't care
tired.
what you buy. Anyways,
The people know the
it
truth.
was
I know my truth.
it was good. It was like a fast paced. I always use Uncut Gems as an example for what movies are like, but it's got a synthy score and it's fast paced and it's a thriller, so fucking Uncut Gems. That's where my head goes. But I gave it a 3.5. It was cool. And then yesterday, this doesn't help my argument about not being sweepy, because we watched The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, and it was late. It was 9:30, which is late for me, and I got I saw the first 20 minutes, and the second 20 minutes I was kind of zoning, so I can't say too much about it. It's exactly what you would expect from Wes Anderson.
I wish I could make fun of you, but I as well was tired, and I wasn't just zoning. I was fully asleep.
I was being nice. I was asleep too.
Okay. Yeah, I know that there was a point where they found a guy who could levitate, and then that was it.
I got to the point
Checked out
where
after that.
Ben Kingsley started to like learn the power.
Yeah, he was like trying to focus on a
that's
memory.
where I got to. So
Yeah.
I think I was like halfway through. So I'll probably throw it on and like give it like a full, like my full attention, because it's really short, but it was fun. So
Yeah.
Gave it a 3.
How do you
So-
feel though that little short does a weird thing where people, it's like he wrote the script for the movie and then said recite every word.
Yeah.
Not like when I write such and such looked over his shoulder and said softly, and then the line, instead of just reading the line, it's like he's like, say everything.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Because what's his name? Ben Cum was reading a journal from Dev Patel. So he was reading the journal. So like in the journal, Dev Patel said, I said this. So we're seeing the story through Henry Sugar's mind, or Ben Cum's mind. So he's reading the journal, and that's how it was said in the journal. So he's just reciting it as it was in the journal.
That's true, but it's the whole movie.
Yeah, because the whole movie is the journal entry.
No, the movie is Ben Kingsley writing about Henry Sugar. And then Henry Sugar reads a journal written by someone else.
I'm lost. I was sleepy. All right?
Yeah.
I was tired.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
We'll move on.
We'll move on.
Sorry about
We're not the best people to talk about this. We don't even know what the fuck happened. It's like 40 minutes long.
What a bunch of children, dude. We couldn't get through a less than an hour long fucking movie.
After that, today I watched Saw.
I saw that. Still pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's back when the franchise wasn't just about torture porn, and it was like, honestly, it's kind of hard to even say like the Saw movies are horror movies, because horror movies are supposed to scare you, and I don't think Saw is trying to do that. I think it's just a
kind
thriller.
of a suspense, thriller.
It's like, it's a serial killer movie about this really demented serial killer that's like, he gets diagnosed with cancer, and he's like upset at all the people that take their lives for granted, so he like puts them in traps and make them like fight for their life. And it's like, it's not really like a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, it's a serial killer movie. That's what it is. And never once, I know that I watch a lot of horror movies, so it's not like if a movie doesn't scare me, then it's not a horror movie. But I don't even feel like it was trying to scare me. Yeah. I don't even feel like there's a
certain feel you get from horror movies, and somehow Saw like slipped into the horror cracks, but it really, I've never felt that it was a genuine horror movie.
Yeah.
They always have just kind of been thrillers. But I guess because so many people die and there's so much gore that it kind of, similar to like slasher movies, it just kind of like, that's
I guess
what fit it the
slashers are
best.
the same way too. I mean, I guess there are jump scares in slasher movies too, but
Not necessarily. Like Jason and Freddy Krueger, they're like demons that kind of falls into the horror a little bit more. But
yeah, but
John Kramer's just an old guy.
Even when they're not demons, like even when it's just a guy, there's jump scares in slasher movies.
Yeah.
But there's no jump scares in Saw, from what I remember. It's interesting, and it's also super low budget. It was James Wan and Lee Winnell, and they were just pals in like film school, and they wrote it together, and James directed. Lee starred in it. The other guy, the blonde guy, isn't very good. The doctor. He overacts the shit out of everything.
Yeah, I saw a few clips. Like I sat down in passing while you were watching it, and I was like, Whoa.
Yeah. He's not the best. I don't know how they got Danny Glover in the movie, though, with $1 million budget. Because I would think his salary alone is like $3 million. But
maybe he's really cool.
Yeah. He probably just read the script and was like, hey, like, this is sick.
You guys need me to do this? I'll take care of it.
But yeah, it's good. I gave it a 4. So I was told to watch 1 and 2 before the new one, but I don't think I'm getting a 2. I think I'll just watch a recap on YouTube.
Yeah.
Of like just run me through the bullet points of what happened in 2.
You know what? I just started thinking about. I guess this is spoilers to the first Saw movie. But the very beginning, they wake up in the bathtub and the key falls down the drain. But in my head, I remember it being a crystal that falls down the drain.
I think it like looks like a crystal, but he says it was a key. Okay.
Yeah, because I remember I was like,
maybe it just had like a keychain on it that looked like a crystal, and the key was really small and you couldn't really see it. But I also have something I wanted to bring up. Maybe I was just being silly and I wasn't paying attention properly. But at the end of Saw, it's revealed that Jigsaw was in the room the whole time and he was pretending to be dead. Why was he in there? What did that change? Why? Like, I was genuinely trying, because the first time you watch it, you're just like, oh, that's cool. He was there the whole time. He was right in front of their eyes. Yeah. And then when you watch it again, you're like, why the fuck was he in there? Like, I don't understand what that added, or like, was he just being silly? Like, I don't, because Jigsaw got this guy from the hospital to kidnap the doctor's family. So he had like this guy working for him that was like doing all that stuff. And it just didn't make any sense to me.
From a utilitarian standpoint, there is no reason for him to be in there. Unless he wanted them to like see the dead body to know like, hey, I'm not fucking around. But if that's the case, just put a dead body in there.
Dude, I'm genuinely like confused why he was in the room and why that reveal is a thing.
It's just cool.
But that's not a good reason.
Yeah, dude.
No.
That's the only I'm telling you. I didn't watch the movie recently, but there is no explanation for him having been in there. Except for the awesome scene at the end when he fucking slams the door, game over, and then slams it. Yeah, it's just for a fucking cool factor. Just to be a badass.
But that kind of sucks to me. Like if that's true and there's no reason why he was in there. Like I don't know. I just started thinking about it and I was like, they didn't say anything for like why he needed to be in there or like what that changed, whether he was in there or not. Because like he had I think he had a tape not a tape recorder, but the thing you play tapes with.
Yeah.
He had one of those on him, but like they couldn't reach him because he was in the middle, so it doesn't matter what was on him.
I thought they were able to get to it
because the guy sawed his foot off, but by then like he's about to die.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe someone can message me and let me know if I'm being stupid or not, but I don't know why he was in the room. I don't know what I think he was just being silly. I think Jigsaw was just like, hey, I'm going to show you how stupid you guys are. Yeah. You're going to think that I'm dead because there's a bullet hole in my head? You jokesters.
He's going to get up at the end and be like, you see that fucking shit? And then close the door.
Yeah, Saw's good. It was a lot like people say Saw's a one location movie. No shot. There's like 20% of that movie is in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's so many flashbacks that I completely forgot about. If I didn't rewatch Saw just now, I didn't even remember there being any flashbacks. Like, damn near I thought the whole movie was in the bathroom. And that's just not close to true. It's barely ever in the bathroom, actually. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Saw.
Yeah, I do know. I don't remember which Saw it was, but they go back to the bathroom like Saw 1, and I think it's supposed to be Lee Winnell's character, but they cast some random guy. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Because he's like way chubbier than Lee Winnell, and he's got a beard.
I don't know why they couldn't have just got him. Well, I mean, James Wan and Lee Winnell don't really like the Saw franchise. They kind of butchered their movie and like turned it into something else.
I mean, I get why, but I mean, if you can't get him,
yeah, just don't recast them. Yeah, I don't even remember what you're referencing because I don't remember the sequels well enough.
Yeah, I just remember seeing that and being like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
Yeah,
and it was supposed to be him.
Yeah. Do you have any solo watches or anything?
I did not. I've been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat 1 because I'm fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's nuts. And my toolboxes finally came in.
Huh?
My toolboxes finally came in.
Oh, exciting.
I had to fight tooth and nail for those toolboxes.
That's exciting for me.
Yep.
I'm a big toolbox guy.
Dude, I didn't get to show them to you yesterday, but wait till you get a load of those.
I can't wait. I'm itching at the pit to see those pliers.
Chomping at the bit, you fucking idiot.
Oh, I don't know. We're talking about tools right now. I don't know.
But yeah, no, I didn't watch anything cool.
Okay.
Some more episodes of Over the Garden Wall, but that's it.
I watched the first episode of Breaking Bad again, just cause.
Hell yeah. We saw the trailer to Breaking Bad 2 together.
Oh, fuck yeah. We forgot to talk about that. We were on YouTube and a trailer for Breaking Bad 2 came up and it was like it looked like one of those old Photoshop posters of like movies that people wanted to come out but never would. Like a fourth Dark Knight movie, you would just see fan-made posters of them. So Carl clicked on it and I was like, you've made a mistake. Like we're giving this guy a view and he's trying to trick people into thinking there's a Breaking Bad 2. And it turns out like it's really funny. Yeah, it's like 6 minutes long. It's super long.
It was the most awesome thing.
But they intercut a bunch of like scenes from the actors' different shows and movies. So like there's clips from Aaron Paul's Need for Speed movie, and he just like combines a bunch of clips from different things to try to like hodgepodge a story together. And it's like Hank comes back from the dead and tries to kill Walter, and like Walt Jr. saves Jesse, and it's like just crazy shit.
Yeah.
So
and he also does scenes from like the most popular movies of all time. Like there's a scene he cut in from Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, from him escaping prison,
which is awesome.
Yeah. And then there's those clips from the cameos from Dean Norris.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not dead in the desert. I'm just messing around.
Yeah. They put those clips in. Check it out. Look up Breaking Bad 2 trailer. You'll have a good time. That's
Chubbs, I think, was the channel.
That's my it's me and Carl's recommendation.
Yeah, our recommendation of the day.
I don't think I've watched anything else. So we can get into the creator.
Yeah.
I was really excited for the creator. Gareth Edwards is pretty cool. I like the two movies I've seen from him. Greg Fraser.
The
homie.
The guy.
Hans Zimmer. Guy. The homie. The homiest of homies.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer. And JD Dub, my boy. He ordered his hot sauce an hour ago.
Yeah. He's got TV to watch.
Yeah. And the trailer looked really cool. The posters looked really cool. The Dream On fucking trailer.
Oh my god, dude.
There's a time. When you hear that in the IMAX and the trailer comes on, you're just like, you come in your pants.
Yeah.
It's a great trailer. So I was really excited for it, and I left kind of disappointed.
Yeah, I think you were a little bit more, or you had higher hopes for it than I did. Like I was hoping it was gonna be good, and it is a good movie, but I wasn't expecting to be like completely like taken back by it.
I wanted to be. It was less like, I don't know if I genuinely thought it was gonna be great or if I just wanted it to be, but I was really excited to see it, and I ended up giving it a 3.5. So I think it's a good movie, and I think that there's some things that are really good about it. But we'll get into all that stuff. But first off, do you know the budget for The Creator? And if you don't, just based on what you saw, what would you guess the budget is?
I have no idea what the budget for The Creator is. I also have no idea how much movies cost. So I'm kind of a bad judge at it, but
I can give you the budgets of 2 movies this year.
Okay.
So you can try to put the pieces together.
That would help.
Dial of Destiny cost $300 million, and The Flash cost $300 million.
So The Flash looked like poop pants.
Yep.
So it's probably got to cost more than Flash. So I would say $400 million.
The Creator cost $86 million.
Oh my god.
Yep. That's mind-blowing. If you watch the movie, it looks like a $200 million movie.
So I wonder, except for one part in the movie, there's one part that really
bad like visuals.
Yes, sir. You must not caught it.
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
We'll talk about it because we're gonna once we dig deeper into it, I'll tell you
Okay.
about the exact scene. But it's pretty crazy.
Okay. Yeah, the budget was $86 million, and that had a lot to do with the fact that they shot it on a Sony FX3 camera, which cost $4,000.
Holy cow!
For reference, typically blockbusters are shot with cameras that cost $10,000 a day to rent
Yeah.
over a span of 9 months. So you can do the math on that. I mean, probably
Big number.
$1 million worth of renting, a
Just
camera.
the camera, not
Yeah.
all the other equipment you need, but
They
just
used
cameras.
a $4,000 Sony FX3 that you can go to Best Buy right now and buy. Like a normal person can just go buy it. They shot it on that, and Gareth Edwards, they asked him why he did that, and he said he kind of just wanted something light that is easy to shoot with.
Hell
And
yeah.
that was kind of it. He didn't say anything specifically.
About trying to do it on a low budget or
Yeah,
anything. They're just yeah.
I'm sure that factored in, but he said that he just wanted to be able to hold the camera himself, and that he's a pretty small guy, and having the huge IMAX 100-pound cameras just isn't really no one really wants to hold that for long periods of time. So he said since they use such a small camera, he was able to film 30-minute long takes because he could just hold it and walk around and do whatever he needed to do, and that's extremely rare for a blockbuster. I mean, that's rare for an A24 movie to be shot on a camera like that. That's wild. But also, we got to point out, Greg Fraser is getting all of the credit for the way the movie looks, and he shouldn't, because the movie has 2 cinematographers, and that's because Greg Fraser was initially going to be the cinematographer, so he went through all the pre-production planning and planning the shots and helping Gareth Edwards pre-plan the visual effects and everything, but he couldn't be on set to actually shoot it because he had to shoot Dune 2. So they got a different guy named Oren Soffer who actually shot the movie. So Greg Fraser definitely put his stamp on it and helped, and you can kind of tell with some shots, but he didn't shoot the movie, so that should be noted, because I think people until I researched it, I thought that too. I thought he just shot the movie.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But yeah, he didn't shoot it, so yeah, that's something to note. And then Gareth Edwards.
Shout out Oren.
Yeah, shout out Oren. He kind of snapped, low key.
He fucking popped off.
Gareth Edwards cited Apocalypse Now, Baraka, Blade Runner, Akira, Rain Man, The Hit, E.T., and Paper Moon as sources of inspiration for the movie. Some of those I haven't seen, but some of them I get. And I remember when the when the first reviews came out, somebody said it's Apocalypse Now mixed with Blade Runner, and guess I don't really get the Apocalypse Now reference, like why people are comparing it to that. But the Blade Runner one's pretty obvious. But
I kind of get the Apocalypse Now thing.
why?
Because the Marlon Brando's character, that Colonel, has like created this faction of people that like worship him, and it's kind of like that way with the robots and with that whatever word they use, Nirmata.
Yeah.
Like once they get to that little island, it's kind of reminds me of that last little sequence in Apocalypse Now. Whenever he finally finds Marlon,
I guess
living in a
that's
cave
similar.
with a bald head.
Yeah, I guess that's similar. But yeah, I noticed a lot of different like similarities between the creator and Blade Runner, which I think is like the most obvious comparison to make. A lot of the visuals, like when they went to that city, I'm not sure what exactly they call it, but it like
New Asia.
my mind was blown when they were in that city.
Yeah.
The visuals they got, and like the camera movements, the way the camera moved, it looked like they were just actually in that place.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was restricted and like it was it was just a green screen, so they couldn't move the camera because they'd show the set if they moved the camera at all. Like it was so free flowing and it encapsulated everything, and it like genuinely looked great. And then there were so many like sunset shots where like the sky was pink and you're seeing like a silhouette, like the shot when they're riding the boat.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like if you look at the stills of the creator, it is crazy town.
Yeah.
The visuals are off the charts. And then I noticed like my main problem with the creator is that everything in it story-wise feels like I've seen it before. It feels like a mishmash of so many different other things I've seen just kind of coming together to form one, but not in a way that's like memorable.
Yeah.
Because it's okay to take inspiration, from other things, and most of our favorite movies probably take inspiration from 20 different movies.
Oh,
but,
yeah, probably almost everything.
And it's not like you can't be a good movie if you take inspiration, but with the creator, it feels like everything in the movie is like, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
It's hard to honestly think of a single element of the movie that's like, that's the creator. Like this is the only movie that's done that. And it's disappointing because I think that the bones were there to have like a masterpiece with like the visuals and the sound design and the visual effects of the everything, like all the robots' heads and the weaponry and the vehicles and the holes in the side of their head and the simulants' heads, and everything looked great visually, and the world building was really cool, but the story feels choppy for some reason. They just like jump from place to place, and you don't get enough time with the characters to really like get attached to them. And like you were saying after we saw it, the whole like Joshua, the only reason he's on this mission is to find his wife thing kind of got old.
Yeah.
And it kind of bogs down the movie because first of all, the second they're at the pool and the people come to him and they're like, yeah, here's footage of your wife. She's alive. We just need your help. Like, the second I saw that, I was like, yeah, they're tricking him. Like, I don't know what specifically it is, like, whether it's just a faked video or whether they took her little USB out of her head and put it in someone else, or, like, whatever it is, he's going to get fucked. Like, it's not just going to be, oh, happily ever after, I go find my wife and that's it.
It's also crazy that was even in the movie. I kind of thought the like retired army guy, like having a general come to him like while he's like in like some apartment, like not doing military stuff, and be like, "We need you this time," and he's like, "Tell him I can't," and they're like, "But you have to," and he goes,
Yeah,
"Okay." Like I thought that was gonna like fade it out.
I thought like honestly, I think it would have been enough to just have Joshua. He's just a military guy.
Yeah.
There's no flashback. There's no, like, he was married to Maya and was going to have a kid. None of that stuff. Just, like, he's in the military. and they're flying to New Asia to get Armada, and they break into the safe, but he's the only one there. Like the way they set it up in the movie, everyone else is going to do other shit, so he's the only one that goes into the safe. He finds the kid, and he's getting orders to execute the kid, and he doesn't want to, so he like runs off to protect it. That would have been enough to me.
Yeah.
Like that. Sure, you know, then you're still getting the comparisons between like Logan and The Last of Us and The Mandalorian and shit like that, with like the older protector that meets a kid and they're supposed to kill the kid, but they grow to like it, so they don't. And you know, you'd still have that critique, I guess, but it would have been way less convoluted, and you would have had less wasted time with like flashbacks and unnecessary shit. I think that just that dilemma of Josh like turning on his you know, his own military and his own country to protect an AI, like that would have been cool enough to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you that it seemed like there would be a point earlier in the movie where he realizes like what's going on is bigger than I have to find my wife, but he chases that car all the way to the fucking end.
He does.
And like I liked the ending when he in the little like garden that they had. It felt like it was kind of like a payoff, but I just feel like it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like at some point he should have stopped looking for his wife and been like, I got to figure something out.
It should have happened earlier in the movie, probably.
Yeah.
It like what they could have done is they used the whole you can have your wife thing. You can have your wife back if you come help us. They could have done that thing. He gets there and he finds her like instantly, like right at the in the first act of the movie. He finds her and realizes like, oh, she's in a coma and like she's never coming back. So he instantly like moves on and then shifts his focus to protecting the kid.
Yeah.
That could have been better in my opinion. It would have made him less like. It sucks to say that a character's annoying because they want to find their wife that's been dead for 5 years. Like I get that that's a very human reaction, but
it would have just helped with the pacing a bit.
Yeah.
Like it would have felt more like gradual. I also feel like there was some missed opportunities with the exploring like are these robots that are sentient, like should we value their lives the same as people? And you know, I think that there was some cool stuff they could have done to explore that, and that would have made the movie a lot more interesting, but they didn't really do it. It's just because this one particular robot appears to be a child that stops him from like killing her. But I don't know, I feel like there's just more stuff you could do. Like
they could have had a section of the movie where Joshua tried to find some security footage of, because it's like this throwaway scene where Ken Watanabe says, you know, it wasn't even us that detonated that bomb, it was you guys, and you did it on accident, and then you blamed us. He just randomly says that, and they never bring it up again.
Yeah.
So they could have dove deeper into that and how this whole war against the simulants wasn't even, like, the simulants didn't even do anything wrong, and it's all a cover-up for the humans' fuck-up. And Josh could have been trying to find the evidence that proved that it was the humans that detonated the bomb on accident, and it could have, like, liberated the robots.
Yeah.
And that would have been interesting. If it was more like, I'm going to use the kid, like Alfie, me and the kid are going to, you know, go infiltrate the fucking systems and try to find the evidence that can free everybody while also destroying Nomad. I feel like that's more interesting and more like to the point.
Yeah.
Than him wandering around trying to find his wife for the whole movie.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, them destroying Nomad doesn't stop anything or fix anything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, long term, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, because at the beginning of the movie, they say that because from the human's perspective, the robots are trying to kill them. So they think that Nomad is our only hope because it's a fucking... it obliterates people.
Yeah.
I mean, Nomad is the shit. but they think that Nomad is their only hope, so that's why they send Josh to, like, we need to destroy this weapon so it doesn't destroy Nomad. But from the robots' perspective, they don't even, like, want to destroy Nomad. They just want to not be killed. They just want to be free. So, like, really, destroying Nomad didn't really help because they're just going to build another one. And in the next 10 years,
it fuels, like, the robots have now destroyed our only line of defense.
Yeah, now they're more scared, and now they're going to be more hostile towards the robots.
Yeah. When
it could have been more about, like, long-term freeing the robots and liberating them.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that would have been more impactful. And then...
Because if a guy with a gun hates robots and is killing robots, and you take away his gun, he still hates robots.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I agree. Like, it doesn't even feel like that great of an ending when you really think about it in terms of, like, the long-term, you know... I feel like after the movie ends, if you stay in that world, the creator world, the same shit's going to keep on happening.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's still robots are bad, and we got to kill them,
Yeah.
and we got to build another Nomad. So it's like, this movie could have been about, like, starting a revolution, you know, and maybe Josh trying to convince, like, him kind of playing the middle and trying to convince the humans that, like, these robots aren't bad, and, you know.
It could have been, like, we need to reveal
misunderstanding.
that this kid is the so-called weapon that the U.S. is exhausting every resource to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if the people see that, like, the weapon is just some kid, that's its only task that it was designed to do is destroy their big fucking gun.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's the way you can reflect on and be like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
That's what you've started this manhunt for, is this, like, 9-year-old?
Yeah. I don't know, there's some great ideas in the movie, but it doesn't do much for me, and I wish it did. I can look at it all day and, like, it's a beautiful movie, but it didn't really make me feel anything because of the way the story plays out and the pacing of it, and I don't know, the ending just kind of felt like the typical, like, I feel like when you watch the first act of this movie, you can guess what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If someone cut it off 40 minutes in and they said, what do you think's going to happen? You can probably guess. I feel like that's what sucks about
the trailer revealed a lot too.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
I tried to avoid. I watched the first one, and then I think trailer 2 was, like, the one that spoiled a lot, so I avoided it because people said it spoiled a lot. I think the first trailer, the one that has the Dream On song over it, I think was the best one.
Oh,
and it didn't show too much. And then I think the ones after that showed too much, and they took the song out. So, yeah, it's disappointing because it never really felt like I was like, oh shit, like, what the fuck just happened, or that was crazy or anything. And it's like, even that reveal with Josh and Alfie when they send him in there and he's supposed to kill Alfie, and it's like shown that he killed her, and it's like the audience knows that didn't happen.
Oh yeah, the second he walked in, I was like, bullshit.
Yeah, like we know he didn't kill her. That's the last thing he would do right now. But then it's like saved for a few minutes, and then there's a reveal of like, we found out what he said to her, and then he says, like, not off, like, rest or resting.
Just stand by.
Stand by, yeah. And I was like, it's played off like a reveal, but everyone knew that. Everyone knew he didn't kill her. That's not what's happening.
It would have kind of been nuts if he did. And, like, the movie is just, like, mankind's fear of the unknown will drive them to, like,
that would have been interesting.
Be heinous.
That's what I'm saying is, because then the movie felt so safe.
Yeah.
And it could have really taken a risk and, like, got you to really care for this, like, young like, robot girl, and then Josh has to, like, turn her off, and it could have been a movie about, like, how afraid we are of technology and what it'll drive us to do, even when these robots,
Yeah.
like whether we believe it or not, have feelings.
And then that, like, you look at yourself, because like if you're sad by the end of that, you know, now you've established value with a robot that isn't actually alive.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
it could have been a more
kind of look
depressing
into
movie.
yourself and be like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it could have taken a dark turn and been a more depressing movie that like critiques us as humans, and I feel like it just went like the safe blockbuster route with like Josh dying and Alfie surviving and then having her smile in the last shot, and I don't know. It feels like nothing really got accomplished.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing. I think I had a couple things.
I do know
to mention.
There's this crazy like sci-fi horror game I played called Soma. That game, I feel like, did a really cool thing, because like as soon as you start it up, you hear like these blood-curdling screams, like someone's getting hurt bad, and you go into like another room and you see this robot like trapped under a door. And he's like, dude, I'm dying. You have to help me. And you're like, this is a fucking robot. Like, what's this guy's problem? Mm-hmm. The game is, they're basically transporting a person's consciousness into a robot. So while they're a robot, like, they think they're a person. Like, everything that they see is, like, a person. So they do, I thought that's, like, a really cool, they do a lot of really cool stuff to, like, make you think, like, well, shit, dude. Like, what it really is a person.
Yeah. The thing they did with, like, the USB thing, where someone dies and you can take it out of their head and put it in someone else, and depending on, like, their condition, calculates how much time you'll get with them, and, like, a soldier will die and they'll take his little chip out of his head and put it in someone else and try to get information out of them, and they did that one time with this guy, and they were like, where's the kid? Where's the kid? And he was like, where's my wife? And
yeah.
And I don't know, I thought that was like a cool futuristic thing to do that I don't think I've seen before. Maybe, I mean, the whole like transporting someone's brain into a different body is like, of course that's happened before, but specifically with like sci-fi and having it just be like a chip that you upload, I feel like that was pretty original. One of the few things that I was like, oh, that's cool.
It's crazy that it's the real person that they're uploading into the robot too.
Yeah,
that's kind of a unique thing.
Yeah. The guns and the vehicles in the movie reminded me a lot of Star Wars, especially with like in the final act, all the guns they're shooting kind of sound like blasters.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Gareth made a Star Wars movie. I don't know, just something I noticed.
Something you picked up on.
But there's a scene in the movie that I need to talk to you about, because I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but I thought it was funny.
What's the scene?
It's.
And then after that, I'll tell you.
I think you know what I'm gonna say. It's the scene where they unleash the weapons, and.
Oh, he's on that like belt, like flying through, like.
No, the suicide bombers.
Oh yeah.
It's a big box with arms and legs, and they deploy them, and then it says, "It's been an honor serving you, ma'am," and then it runs off.
Yeah.
And it goes. And it looks so fucking stupid.
I mean, I
didn't laugh because I was trying to be polite in a movie theater and no one else was, so I didn't want to be the only guy, but I was like, this is hilarious.
I didn't think it was like super funny. Obviously it's goofy, and I was like, that's kind of weird.
Dude,
but then like once it started,
they turn the score off, so it's like dead silent, and you just hear his footsteps like running at them.
Yeah.
And they do wide shots. I don't know why it was so funny to me.
Yeah. I thought it was goofy, but like once he ran like through all the shit that they were throwing at it,
and then it just sits down.
People, yeah,
it gets into the middle
it
of
just
the base
stands
and
there and then blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know if anyone else had that same reaction, but and then they do it again. They send another one in, and it's like, it's been an honor serving you, ma'am, and then it runs off. And it's like, why are you thanking her? Like,
and then just like have it drive.
Yeah.
Just have it be like a wheeled thing.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't have to have arms.
But it was
and legs.
funny because they set it up in the scene like they had some like crazy shit that they were gonna destroy them with, and then it's just like this little goofy robot that runs. I don't know.
It's like R2-D2 with arms and legs.
Yeah. It's like a big barrel that just runs. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
The scene with the bad CGI is very much like the Lord of the Rings scene where he runs into the cave. But it's when you see Josh walking into the temple.
He's walking into the temple, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I noticed. I didn't think anyone else noticed. So that's why I didn't think that's what you were talking about. But it was
his
like
shadow
you could
was
tell
like
the
weird.
3D model was walking very like back upright, and it just looked odd.
Yeah.
It just looked like a CGI model walking in, and
obviously you're not really supposed to like look at that. It's more like the temple, but I saw it.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I like seeing stuff like that because it's like you can't really be mad because that's such a small detail that they're not going to spend a lot of time on and not going to spend a lot of resources on. But
I don't care.
Funny.
It is funny though.
Yeah. I thought the heat-seeking explosives guns that they had were really cool when they would shoot out like the grenades that would track people.
Oh yeah.
And there was a scene where like someone got shot with one of those, and then they let her get in the helicopter, and then they were like confused when they were flying, and then the grenade started to go off, and I was like, you saw her get shot with that thing. Like, why am I smarter than these soldiers? Like, you know that they have these weapons, and you saw her get stuck with one, and then you let her in your helicopter, and then the helicopter blows up. Like, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, why are they letting her in there?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Maybe they didn't realize that she got hit with a grenade, but the second she got hit, I was like, she's gonna blow up.
Yeah. You think they're shooting things at you that aren't gonna hurt you?
Yeah. They're just throwing
rocks. It
rocks.
just hits your back, and it's just like, oh, okay.
They just have a slingshot.
Yeah.
They're blasting.
Yeah, they've got the little the thing from Celebration Station, the hand, the sticky hand. They just throwing it at people.
Dang, almost got him.
Yeah. Also, John David Washington's the scene. Like, he wears a couple different outfits throughout the movie, but when he goes to the big city, he's wearing, like, this cloak poncho thing. It's he was dripping.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It was crazy. I was like, you can't look much cooler than JD Dub with cornrows and a poncho.
Oh, God,
protecting a child.
Yeah.
This is as cool as it gets right now.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And I think that's all. Oh, shout out to Ralph Ineson. That's my guy.
Oh, yeah.
Deep voice man. If you've seen The Witch, you know what I'm talking about. He
He's
needs to be cast in everything.
Yeah, dude.
Cast him in everything.
I wish I sounded like him. Can you imagine how many more people would listen to our podcast?
Dude, I would do those like
the
iceberg videos on YouTube where you talk about like the history of the bureaucratic party. Yeah, but it's like it's interesting because you're the one saying it.
Yeah. It's
not even interesting in its own right, but I love Ralph Ineson, so shout out to him.
Sturgill Simpson's in it?
I think he was cast in Robert Eggers' Nosferatu.
Oh.
So.
Hell yeah.
I don't know who he's going to play, but.
Probably someone fucking cool.
God, I can't wait for that movie. Hopefully it comes out next year. I don't know when the release date is, but it's got to be. I mean, it's already filmed, so it's got to be next year.
Yeah. It's got to be coming soon.
What were you going to say?
Sturgill Simpson's in it.
Yeah, when we were watching it, Carl leaned over to me and he was like, "That guy looks like Sturgill Simpson." And I didn't say anything back because I didn't want to talk during the movie, but I was like, "He doesn't know that's Sturgill Simpson."
Well, like, I knew Sturgill did like weird stuff. I didn't think he would be in a movie, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Sturgill Simpson. But I was like, I'm gonna look pretty foolish if Cash is like, who's Sturgill Simpson? I'm like, oh, he's a country music artist. And if it's not him, he's like, yeah, a country music singer is going to be in The Creator.
No, like, it was, like, when the trailer first came out, the tweets were like, new trailer for The Creator directed by Gareth Edwards starring these people, and it said starring Sturgill Simpson. So even though I didn't know what Sturgill Simpson looked like I knew he was in the movie.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That was cool. He did good for the most part. He had a couple lines that was like, hey.
I didn't like when he was looking at Alfie, and he was like, he looked at her for like 2 minutes and was like, yeah, one day she's gonna like her powers are growing and she's just gonna be God. And I was like, how you looked at her for you looked in the side of her head for 2 minutes and you're telling me that
like
know the power that she's gonna have.
Yeah, he like put a fork in her head and was like, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, he's just some fucking random mechanic. Like this, he's not. You didn't take her to like the fucking Elon Musk of the world.
Yeah.
Like you just took him some random guy that's your friend, and then he told you like, oh yeah, he's gonna be fucking Jesus one day.
That's the thing too, is like,
it's like that information should not have come so easily. It shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, this is what she's gonna be. If you're gonna say that kind of information, it needs to be earned, and they should have had to go somewhere to some expert and had them say that.
That's the thing too, is the very first thing he says is, I've never seen anything like this before, which tells me you don't know what's going on in there.
Yeah,
if you've never seen anything like it, it's alien.
And keep your damn mouth shut.
Yeah,
you don't
that'd
know
be like
shit.
if you put me in the cockpit of an airplane, and I was like, I've never seen like this before, but this thing flies at this horsepower, and it can get this. I'd be like, how the fuck do you know that?
Yeah,
if you've
it's
never
like
been
if you walked into the cockpit of a plane and you're like, yeah, I've never been in the cockpit of a plane before, but this is the most advanced cockpit on the eastern seaboard. How would you fucking know that? You just said you don't know shit.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, there's times where exposition comes and it's like, that was random and that was a weird thing to say, and like, how did they even know that? And
the weird part is the robots talk about it whenever he goes to their like village. So and it makes sense for the robots to know about it. They have like legends, and it's like their religion.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for the robots to give that exposition. So just have them do it. They're already talking about it.
Yeah.
Have them do it.
Or just have Sturgill Simpson say like, one of my robot pals told me that.
Yeah.
Like, or he could have seen like a serial number and said, oh, this is the one they told me about a few years ago that's gonna change everything. Because
he's also banging a robot, so she could have known something.
Yep, exactly. See how smart we are? We can just problem solve the script.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm talking about a lot of things I don't like, but I still gave it a 3.5. I still enjoyed it. I could possibly rewatch it one day, but for the expectations I had, it's disappointing. It doesn't leave like a lasting effect with me. When I watch great movies, I think about them for a week at least. When I saw Oppenheimer, I couldn't think about anything else for a week. When I saw Guardians 3, I couldn't think about anything for a week. Same with like John Wick 4 and Across the Spider-Verse. The creator, you kind of watch it and you're like, well, it looked really good, like visually, but I'm probably never going to think about it again.
Yeah.
And that stinks.
Yeah.
That's smelly.
I wasn't expecting it to be like a masterpiece like you were, but I did expect a little bit more from it. For the most part, if it's a movie that like just looks good, but I'm unsure of, I'm like, that's probably like a 3.5 maybe, and that's what it landed at. So like I was okay.
I don't know. Visuals are a big thing for me with like judging how good I think a movie is going to be. When I see a movie that looks really good visually, I normally think it's going to be a good movie, because typically the people who can make a movie look good are the same people that can write a movie well and direct a movie well. So it's kind of rare to get like a really well-written, well-made movie that looks like shit and a really shitty movie that looks great. It's normally like they're one and the same. The great movies normally look great and are also really good, and then the bad ones look bad, like The Flash.
Yeah, I wonder why you were so excited for The Flash then.
Because it's DC. I knew it looked bad.
I'm just messing with you.
I just thought The Flash would be fun. I didn't think it would be like some great movie. I just thought it would be fun, and kind of wasn't. But normally they're one and the same.
Yeah, so, no, I get what you mean.
Like when I saw the visuals for the creator, I was like, this can't be bad. Like it just can't be. I'm hearing Dream On in my ears. I'm looking at John David Washington with cornrows and cinematography by Greg Fraser. This isn't... No shot this is bad.
Greg Fraser and Oren.
And Oren, yeah. But I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
So, Yeah. It was a letdown for me because I wanted to like it more. And original sci-fi is just something that's hard to come by.
Yeah.
It never really happens. Like, what are the last few original big budget sci-fi movies you can think of? They have come out. No sequel, no based on manga, not based on comics, not a spin-off, just straight up original science fiction.
Tenet.
You got Tenet. It's normally a director like Nolan is the only people that can get it made. Nolan, Denis, Cameron, because Avatar 2 is a sequel. From 2018, 5 years ago, we got Upgrade.
Yeah. Is the only sci-fi movie that Denis has done that hasn't been an adaptation Arrival? Or is Arrival?
Arrival's an adaptation.
Okay.
Everything...
So he hasn't done like an original sci-fi movie.
Original sci-fi, no.
Okay.
He's done original movies, but...
Yeah. But
science
sci-fi.
fiction, no. It's, Dune 1 and 2 are books. Blade Runner's a sequel, and Arrival's based on a book. I'm going to check, because I'm curious now. I'm going to check Letterboxd, filter by release date, and see how many original sci-fi movies we get a year. It's not a lot.
Not a lot at all.
This year we've gotten The Creator and No One Will Save You. No One Will Save You. I'm talking more about big budget stuff.
Yeah.
Where you're taking a risk.
Yeah, you don't.
That was a low budget Hulu thing, so I'm not going to count that. 65. There you go.
That was
it's original.
That was yeah.
Big budget. Nope. It's got to be a director like Jordan Peele. Get something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I guess that I wouldn't put it in the sci-fi category, but
you don't think Nope is sci-fi?
I don't think so.
What could it possibly be but sci-fi?
I think it's more of like a. It's not horror, like a suspense movie.
Carl, what are you talking about? How is Nope not a science fiction movie?
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm saying I don't really think it is.
That. What? Look at what you just said. I'm not saying it isn't. I just don't think it is.
Well, you know how just now, like as soon as we started the podcast, we said we didn't really consider Saw a horror movie, even though it is. Like everyone considers it a horror movie. When you look up Saw, horror comes up, right? But we don't really consider that.
But
horror. And like superhero movies,
Nope has a UFO
superhero movies are sci-fi movies, but we don't consider them sci-fi. The picture I think of in my head
when I think of science fiction is a UFO.
I don't think of a UFO. I think of more like robots, cybernetics, but the UFO being like this living monster kind of tweaks it a little bit for me. It kind of like sends it into a weird place. That's the only thing that's kind of like
holding me back. You know what genre of monsters are in? Science fiction.
So the thing is science fiction, not horror?
It is science fiction.
I consider it a horror movie.
It's both.
Yeah, but I'd consider it wholly a horror movie. Like Alien's a horror movie to me.
It is a horror
I know
movie.
it's science fiction too, but
movie.
I think it's predominantly horror. Like when I think of Alien, I think of horror. When I think of The Thing, I think horror.
Maybe
when I think of
stupid.
Nope, I don't think of science fiction immediately.
That's pretty dumb.
So when you think of The Thing, you instantly think of science fiction. You don't think of horror.
Yes.
You think of science fiction first. No.
If I had to think of one, yes, I'm thinking of science fiction first.
For The Thing.
Yes.
All right. I don't know what to tell you.
We'll ask the listeners. All right. When you listen to this episode, message me on Discord. Let me know whose side you're taking here.
Yeah.
If you think of The Thing and Alien, which genre comes to your head first? Science fiction or horror?
I definitely think horror, because like The Thing I have on my list of like top horror movies of all time, but yeah. I don't think it's even in the top 5 of my top science fiction movies of all time.
Well, maybe because you probably like science fiction more than horror, so there's less to choose from in the horror genre.
There's a lot to choose from in the horror genre.
I said there's less.
I'm telling you, I think
I prefer science fiction to horror. So if I make a science fiction list, there's going to be different things on it. My number one horror movie could be a science fiction horror movie, but it still could not be in my top 5 science fiction because I prefer 5 more science fiction movies that aren't horror.
Oh no, I know I'm not the smartest guy around, but I do think that The Thing is more horror than it is science fiction. It feels more horror to me.
Listen, my name's Paul, and this is between y'all.
But
All right?
for some reason, Nope doesn't. I don't think of sci-fi as soon as I think of Nope.
Well, that's your problem because it's predominant genre. Anyways, Everything Everywhere All at Once, original sci-fi.
Yeah.
Tenet, like you said, Palm Springs, Time Loop.
Would you think that that's more of like a smaller budget movie?
Yeah, it's not a blockbuster, but it is
kind of on the same
fiction.
level as
No One Will Save You.
Yeah,
For sure.
but it was cool.
There's sequels. Alita's based on shit. Yeah, there's like 5 or 6. We get like 1 or 2 a year, so I try to cherish them.
That's a lot more than I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you. Until we actually looked it up, I thought it was like maybe once a year, once every 2 years, we'd get an original science fiction movie.
Yeah, that's about what it is. About once a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was excited about it strictly kind of for that. Like, I love science fiction, and I want more original science fiction that isn't sequels or franchises or spin-offs or based on shit. And, you know, I wish it was a little better because I don't think it's going to make... I don't even know if it'll make its money back. The opening weekend numbers have been kind of bad so far.
I feel like it's got to with a budget so low.
Let me see. I just saw the... Yeah, so it earned $5.5 million in the film's domestic opening day. I think that's kind of hard to... I don't know.
What are they all in?
It's hard to judge like how good that is because it's just opening day and it's just domestic.
Yeah.
So I would imagine it'll probably make like... I think it'll probably make like 80 million, and that's not gonna, like with its marketing, that's not gonna make any money for them.
Unfortunately.
So hopefully it does. I think it's good enough to like tell people to see it, but
oh yeah, I don't think it should flop. It's still a good movie. It's great to watch, but it's. I think it's enough to have the average moviegoer was going to be entertained and enjoy it.
Yeah, you could take like your dad to see it, and he'd probably think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we got.
I did see the Napoleon trailer for the first time.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, yeah, I saw that in the theaters. I was like, got quite a few movies to watch, so probably not going to be able to avoid it much. I've already seen, I was already exposed to the clip of him doing that thing. Mm-hmm. So I saw it and I was like, dude, this movie is going to be outstanding.
Carl did his trademark, his Carl hot take when we were leaving the theater, because we were walking out of the Creator and we saw the poster for Napoleon, and he said, "Call me crazy, but I'm pretty excited for that Napoleon movie."
I didn't say that.
Yes, you.
No, I didn't.
What did you say?
I said I'm weirdly excited about the Napoleon movie, and you were like,
yeah.
"Well, yeah, so is everybody." But knowing me and who I am as a person, that doesn't seem like a movie that would interest me.
Weirdly excited for a new Ridley Scott movie starring Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm gonna keep talking about what I'm saying, okay? But knowing me and who I am as a person, I wouldn't think that a Napoleon movie would be something that I'm super stoked to watch. And after I watched the trailer, I was like, dude, I have got to go fucking see Napoleon. I want to go watch it in IMAX. I'm ready to go. I'm all in on Napoleon. And it doesn't seem like a movie that I would be like, holy fuck, dude. This is it.
But it kind of does, though.
That's the thing. I'm not going to get excited for a movie just because, I think it's gonna put up numbers. Like I've got to be able to like see it, and like Lincoln has one of the best actors of all time in it, and I'm not excited. I'd like if you were like, let's watch Lincoln, I wouldn't be excited, just because like there's an actor in it that's really good. I'd be like, fuck, I have to watch Lincoln now.
Yeah, but nobody really likes Lincoln.
No one knows what they think about Napoleon.
Exactly. It's a fresh slate. That's what I mean.
Yeah. But if we didn't know that, if I just saw the trailer to Lincoln, I wouldn't be like, I'd fucking twist my ass. I gotta get in there.
But that's also a president versus like a war general. Those are two different movies. Like Napoleon should be a lot more, like there should be a lot more going on because he's going to be in the middle of wars. And Abraham Lincoln's just a guy talking in rooms. So they're not really like the same thing.
Well, he was president during the middle, during one of the biggest wars.
Yeah, he's not out on the front lines, Carl. He's the president.
Yeah, Napoleon doesn't actually fight though.
Yeah, he does.
He's a general. Generals don't fight a lot.
He's out there on the battlefield. He's going to be fighting.
He's out there watching. I think it's going to be really cool. It doesn't seem like a movie that would interest me normally, but I'm fucking amped for it. So, having known me and being my pal, I think it seems like why are you so fucking up at arms about this Napoleon movie? But I think it's going to be fucking awesome.
It's just funny because you're known for doing this with like, call me crazy, and then you're saying the most common opinion that anyone's ever heard. Like when you said you call me crazy, but I love Blade Runner 2049. It's like you weirdly love it, and it's like that's people adore Blade Runner 2049.
I don't know
a lot of people's top 10 of all time.
I don't know what Mass Opinion is in 24 minutes. I didn't know it was in like a lot of people's top 10 movies ever made.
Yeah,
because that's where I would like put it. I thought that people liked it and then like thought it was good. I don't know what I don't keep up with the vast majority of people.
Maybe it's time you start paying attention to the details.
Oh, fuck.
Because those details might need your help.
Hell yeah.
If you're a cool guy, you know what that's from.
That's how you end it. Fucking
Mic
Batman
drop.
reference in a Batman room with 4 different Batman collections.
Yep.
With
Batman poster up there.
Batman poster.
Dark Knight trilogy screenplay.
Batman bust.
Batman Begins art book. The Batman script book.
Peanut M&M in a recliner.
The Court of Owls book. Dark Victory. Long Halloween. Batman Ego. This is how we do it.
Huh? I didn't know you had Ego.
Nightfall.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I have Ego. I haven't read it yet.
God, dude,
that was one of the Matt Reeves, like, he said that Ego was something he adapted for the Batman, so
I knew that. I didn't know you had picked it up yet.
Yeah, I bought it. I just haven't read it yet. The art style is kind of weird.
God, I think you just fucking hate Batman for some reason.
Dude, Batman stinks. What a goober.
What a shit movie.
Yeah. Imagine being a superhero and not killing.
Yeah.
Imagine not having powers. What a loser.
Yeah.
He's no Thor.
Imagine. God dang. Yeah, dude. When you watch the Batman and you watch Thor: Love and Thunder, you know, I think
the Batman can only dream of being as good as Love and Thunder.
Yeah. When you see that kid's floating head.
Yeah. When you see Agnes
in like a fart cloud.
That's not his name. The joke is they mess up his name 9 times, and it's not funny any of the 9 times. But what is it?
Anthony.
It's not Anthony.
I don't know.
It's a weird name. It's like
Aldous.
I mean, that's better, but no, it's not Aldous. It's better than Anthony. It's like
Alvin.
Stop. Stop it. You know what you're doing right
Alvin
now.
and the Chipmunks.
It's not a name you're going to hear other than Thor: Love and Thunder.
I don't know anyone named Alvin.
Astrid. That's his name.
Is it?
Yeah. Is that the kid's name in How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah.
That's his name?
That's someone's name in How to Train Your Dragon.
Let me look it up. I think you're lying to me just to make me feel bad.
I know for sure someone's.
We need to watch those movies.
Someone in How to Train Your Dragon is named Astrid.
I think it might be close to Astrid and then not Astrid. It's Astrid.
Sick.
Astrid Hofferson.
Awesome, dude.
Dude, the names in this movie are crazy. We got Gobber the Belch. We've got Astrid Hofferson. Snoutlout Jorgensen.
Hell yeah.
Fishlegs Ingerman.
That would be me. I'm all fish legs.
Toughnut Thorson.
Holy shit.
Riffnut Thorson.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Spitelout. Phlegma the Fierce. And Ack.
Smegma the Stinky.
Oh! Got him. Dead to rights.
I've only seen the first movie in that series, and
people love those movies. I gotta check them out.
Wasn't big on it.
I think they get better from what I hear.
We need to watch the trilogy. We need to buckle up.
Yeah.
Be
I like
fucking adults.
the Viking era. That's some cool shit.
Oh yeah.
Got dudes drinking out of fucking horns.
Yeah, dude.
Beating their wives.
Wearing fur.
Yeah.
Raping and pillaging.
The good old days. Yeah, I think we should end it there.
Yeah, that's.
I think we're rambling for too long. We're gonna say something we don't mean.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wink. We don't mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the next next episode's gonna be horror.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be October. It's gonna be spooky season.
Call me crazy, but I think Hereditary is pretty good.
I think The Thing's a pretty good horror movie. Let's see. I have a couple episodes ready, like ideas for episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you want to start with.
Throw out an idea. Tease the people a little bit with what we have fucking coming down the pipeline.
I've got 3 episodes in the barrel. One of them is top 10 most underrated horror films.
Hell yeah, I like that. Like that.
Another one is just overall top 10 horror films of all time. You didn't say anything.
That's gonna be tough.
I mean, big whoop.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, I'm not a huge horror fan, and it's mainly because there's.
You watch as many horror movies as I do.
Well, yeah, we go to every movie together, so yeah, that doesn't mean that I like it.
You do though.
I go, but most of the time.
You don't get excited to see like horror movies that you don't
I'm
think are going to be amazing?
I'm always very skeptical with horror movies because there's so many that are bad.
I mean, I'm skeptical. I don't think most of them are going to be good. I just enjoy seeing them.
Yeah.
Like even when The Nun 2 came out, like I knew it was going to be bad, and
You were excited?
I was still kind of excited because I just like seeing horror movies.
Oh yeah, and I'm not an idiot, so I wasn't excited for The Nun 2 at all.
Wow.
I wasn't excited. I wasn't excited for that at all.
Now you're taking shots at me.
I'm just saying.
Sorry for having fucking childlike whimsy about me, and I just can experience joy. Sorry. Fucking
childlike
hang
wonder.
me on the post.
Sorry for having hopes and dreams.
And then the other episode is I want to just do a full episode on Malignant.
That's interesting.
Malignant is a hot topic in the film community. Because,
really?
Yeah. Because some people, like me, the smart people, think it's great, think it's a masterpiece, and then some people, the stupids, they don't think it's good at all. So we've got to lay everything out on the table.
What a bunch of hoopla, dude.
We got to explain why Malignant is a masterpiece.
I mean,
so I'll have to watch it for the second time this year.
Yeah.
Oh, drats. I got to watch it again.
If you've got 2 fucking eyes, you should know why it's so good.
Hell yeah. So
that's all I'm saying.
So me and you will do like a rewatch, like a critical eye rewatch with like, you probably won't, but I'm gonna like take notes so I don't forget anything I want to bring up and like do like a deep dive on Malignant, watch some behind the scenes stuff, read about it, you know, like a full. We don't do that very often.
Talk about Malignant, think about Malignant, be around Malignant.
Yep.
Just
be Malignant.
Yeah. You've got to
become one with Malignant.
You've got to date the Malignant. You've got to lick the Malignant.
You've got to be the Malignant. Yeah, so it's going to be a whole month of horror. And then on top of the episodes, we'll just have a bunch of horror in our watch list every week because that's what we're going to be doing, having a good time. We'll see The Exorcist Believer. Going to be stinky, but
you're excited.
I am. I like watching horror movies. It's like that scene in SpongeBob where he's like, but it's not my wallet.
Yeah.
And it's like, so you know this movie's going to be bad. And I'm like, yep. Then he's like, but you're still excited. And I'm like, yep.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I don't know. Horror movies in theaters are just fun. Like, you'll never be able to, like, watching a horror movie at home sometimes can be hard because it's hard to, like, immerse when you have, like, a dog ringing the bell to go outside and, like, your phone's going off and it's not pitch black. And just being in a theater where it's pitch black and you have a bunch of people there and ideally no one's on their phones and you're just having a good time. I like it.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. When I reflect on my life, it's going to be, like starting a family, getting my career, watching The Nun 2 in theaters. Like, just, like, fun, awesome things that happen to me.
No, it's going to be when you watched Malignant in theaters. Oh. Like a real chat.
Dude, we almost walked out of that
We were
movie.
almost silly.
We were on the
almost
verge.
walked out of Malignant.
Yeah. What
I'm
a
not
180.
proud to admit that because, listen.
I am.
Malignant
speaks so much towards the movie.
Malignant is a movie that you need to rewatch. You have to rewatch it. If you haven't seen Malignant until you've rewatched it. I don't say that about many movies, but on the first watch, all I could say about Malignant was like, that was crazy. And then on second watch, I was like, that was fucking amazing. So you have to watch it again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll do that. We'll definitely have a Malignant episode. But yeah, that's all we got. So, thanks for tuning in to the Film Scoop.
See you next time on the Scoop.